Welcome back, it's Nine, and today I have another spicy video for you guys. We are going to be talking about Sony San Diego studio and what they are working on. We're going to be talking about another person coming out talking about how there are two major unlisted Xbox games that are arriving in 2021 from a reliable source from the looks of it. And lastly, we are going to be talking about a GTA 6 update and this new patent that will be applied most likely to Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Now, let's get right into it, starting with this article that comes from WCCF Tech, and it's titled "Sony's Secret San Diego Studio is Working on Existing Franchises Using Proprietary Engine Tech." Sony's former San Diego support studio, Visual Arts, appears to be working to expand upon Sony's existing IPs. At least that's what can be discerned from the LinkedIn profile of former studio head and senior director of Visual Arts, Michael Mumbauer. According to his profile, Mumbauer has been building a brand new AAA action-adventure team, which seems to directly link to the Uncharted franchise. So, in the LinkedIn profile, it says his latest achievement is having built a brand new all-star AAA action-adventure development team for PlayStation. Mumbauer's profile reads, "Based in San Diego and utilizing proprietary engine technology. This team was assembled to expand upon existing franchises and craft all new stories for the next generation of gamers." And if you guys remember, back in 2018, Sony's former talent acquisition lead, Fiona Cherbak, confirmed that Visual Arts was looking for a gameplay animator. And it says in the tweet, "Are you an experienced technical gameplay animator with a penchant for high-quality third-person action-adventure games? PlayStation Visual Arts has a new game development team in partnership with a major Sony studio." So there is so much evidence around this being a new game. And a lot of people seem to believe, and with evidence, that this could be Uncharted 5 or some sort of Uncharted spin-off. Likely not going to have a 5 after it, considering it's probably not going to be about Nathan Drake. It's going to be about a new character or somebody that has been in the series before but getting their own game maybe. We don't know for sure. I mean, it really could be about Nathan Drake for all we know, but you know, it likely would do better if it was a spin-off, considering they seem to have wrapped up Nathan Drake's story in the 4th entry. So overall, how do I feel about this? Personally, I'm pretty excited for it. You know, Uncharted is a great franchise. You know, given they're made by Naughty Dog, they really know how to craft a quality game. But with that said, the question is, will this studio know how to follow that up, right? Because Naughty Dog is such an exceptional team. Very, very polished games. Their games are really good for the most part, depending on who you ask. And it only makes sense that they're going to want to make sure they put their all into it to really not see that quality difference when it comes to the next Uncharted entry. If it is indeed an Uncharted entry, which I would much rather prefer than maybe a game that is an action-adventure game that's a different IP, I guess, unless it was a completely new IP. But given all the information we know, it only makes sense that this is going to be Uncharted. Now, if I'm wrong, I'll be really surprised. But I think based on everything we know, based on what everybody on the internet is saying, it's expected to be Uncharted, which really brings up the point then, what is Naughty Dog working on? And I think that really reveals that if this is indeed Uncharted, Naughty Dog is no longer working on Uncharted, and they are probably either going to be working on The Last of Us 3 or a new IP, and those are the only two things they could possibly be. I just don't see them doing anything else. If not The Last of Us Part 3, it's got to be a new IP. So with everything that we know, I'm curious to hear what you guys think of this. I mean, it'll be exciting to see what comes out of it anyway. But on to our next topic, and this is all about Xbox, and this comes from WCCFtech.com as well, and it's titled "Corden. I know of at least two major unlisted Xbox games that are arriving in 2021. So if you guys remember, we talked about EA DICE developer coming out and saying that there are quite a few unannounced Xbox exclusives arriving later this year. Well, Corden has basically doubled down on that. In a new The Xbox 2 podcast, the Windows Central journalist was asked about his most anticipated titles that currently have been announced, after which he replied that he knows of at least two more major Xbox exclusives that weren't included on the list above mentioned. He did add that he's not going to say what they are because he doesn't want to ruin the team's surprise, and that they should get to announce it, and I totally agree with that. And I'm very curious to see just what these games are. If they are coming as soon as we believe them to be coming, boy, I think they got to be really... I don't even know what they could be, truthfully, because everything we've seen up until now seems as though it's got to be pretty far off. So it definitely has to be something we have completely not heard about. Hopefully they are of a AAA scale. I'm really hoping, because I'd love to see what their teams are doing on a AAA scale. But I guess it's only a matter of time till we see what it is. Like, it's hard to even speculate on this because of, you know, how wide the studios are and how the ones we've heard of are definitely no way they're dropping in 2021. Like, Fable's not happening. That's a guarantee. Avowed is not happening. There's just no way that any of these titles, these major titles that we saw CG trailers for, will be dropping in 2021. And if they do, that would be pretty awesome. Have to look into what their teams are doing. But overall, I'm just excited to see what they're going to come up with. I mean, with their competition being so fierce in 2021, Horizon 2, Ratchet & Clank, God of War, Returnal, I'm hoping that Microsoft has something heavy that's going to drop in 2021 because I'd love to see them be able to compete on that scale. Mind you, I understand that, and I know a lot of people feel this way, is that their studios still have a lot to prove because they haven't really done anything major. And this is not me saying that Microsoft studios aren't good. This is me saying that Sony has continued to prove themselves, whereas Microsoft, we haven't seen just yet what they're capable of, or their best work, I want to say. But anyway, on to our last topic, and this comes from VideoGamesChronicle.com, and it's titled, Rockstar Patent Could Point to Significant GTA 6 NPC Improvements. So we've been talking about Rockstar and GTA 6 for a little while now because it is a massive game that's coming up, and I'm a huge fan of Grand Theft Auto, so I find it is something I want to discuss on this channel. So basically, a new patent by Rockstar Games programmers could point towards significant improvements to how NPCs navigate open world games such as Grand Theft Auto 6. The patent for a method for virtual navigation in a gaming environment was spotted by a Reddit user, and this was filed in October last year by Rockstar's parent company, Take-Two. While the patent is linked to Take-Two and makes no reference to a specific game, it's credited as having been invented by Rockstar North's tech director David Hind and AI lead Simon Parr, which suggests it could be related to the studio's next game, which is understood to be GTA 6. So the patent documents describe a system that deals with non-player navigation around a virtual environment, including making the navigation and behaviors of computer characters more realistic. So that's kind of the gist of it. There's a lot, and I mean a lot of information here that I'm not going to go over, but I will have it in the description for you guys if you want to check it out. But essentially what it comes down to is that they are going to be acting more realistic, behaving in a more realistic nature. There is talks about the roads being more densely populated and how the population in the game, or the NPCs in the game, will respond to what you are doing more realistically and in a more intelligent way, I guess. And they will respond to the terrain, they will respond to the environment, just everything will function at a more realistic level is the gist of it. It really is just coming down to that. Grand Theft Auto 6, as we know, is going to be one of those major titles for consoles, for PC, for everybody. I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 is still making top 10 NPD lists like every single month. So we know that somehow, some way, they are still making a ton of sales. Now, with that said, I feel like, you know, this is going to be a game, by the time we finally get a trailer for it, it's going to probably be a year out. That way, we're not waiting too long, as Rockstar seems to like to do that kind of thing. I'm super excited for this game. Very curious how they're going to top GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 just being an absolute classic and just an amazing adventure altogether. I hope that they can top it with GTA 6, and in time it will tell, because I really feel like Rockstar is one of those developers that is top tier. They do make super polished experiences. They are definitely top 3 studios in the world right now in terms of game development, so I can't wait to see what they're working on. But that's all I have for you guys today, and I'm curious what you guys are going to make of this new studio that's working on an already existing IP. What do you guys think this could be? Are you hoping it's Uncharted? Are you excited for it? Let me know in the comments. And how do you feel about Xbox and these two big unannounced exclusives? What do you think they could be? Are you excited for it? And lastly, how do you feel about this GTA 6 NPC improvements with this new patent? Do you think this will be utilized with GTA 6, and are you looking forward to GTA 6? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Links will be in the description. And share this video with a friend. I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.